So, this episode is about what it means to love something loudly and how fandom becomes like a weird little home for your feelings.
Hmm.
Which is true. If you think about it, if I think about it, like, let's say Taylor Swift, huge fan, not a Swiftie because I equate Swifties with like, looking for Easter eggs and knowing all the details and all that stuff. I love her music, know a lot of the words to most of her songs. So, can I be like a semi Swiftie?
You could be
I'll call
whatever you
myself
want.
a semi Swiftie, okay? But I recognize, like, like with a lot of songs, actually, you can feel like you can relate in many ways to the things that she's singing, right?
Hmm.
Or whatever. For you, it could be Eminem or
Right.
whatever, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I feel like for myself, music really does that. All different genres, right? Really does that for me. As opposed to, let's say, a TV show.
Hmm.
I wouldn't necessarily, like it says here, like have feelings. Would I? Would I, though? Hold on. Let's think about this, Josh. Welcome, everybody, to Brother, Sister, Whatever. I'm Lisa.
I'm Josh. Well, I think that, like you just said, for you, music hits something, hits a chord,
For sure.
and I'm sure. I mean, how have you not had this feeling? I've had this feeling where you're watching a movie and something hero like happens, and you feel like this, almost like yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's
you're,
true.
like
That's true. Or even just crying at a scene, right? Like
yeah.
something like emotes something out of you. So yeah, okay. I shouldn't say it doesn't. I
So,
don't have
and
feelings
I
about
think
it,
that
but
that might touch certain people.
mm,
Like, I think this is why my son absolutely loves anime, because a lot of the anime, the style, I mean, there's a lot of different styles, but the style that he's watching is like it's always an underdog, and it's always someone who wants to be the hero and can't be right now
mm,
or whatever, and they have to struggle and fight and get to that point, and so for him, I can tell that,
it resonates with
yeah,
him.
it resonates, and like he's like, oh, like he got to that level, like look at him, and so I could see him wanting to dress up or act out that type of behavior,
Mm-hmm.
to feel that sense of strength.
That's true.
Like
Yeah.
I could relate to some ways in like Dragon Ball Z, like Goku when I was a kid, and he would get beaten up, and no matter how much he got beaten up, he would scream and just get more energy, to keep battling through that, So there's something about that type of stuff, and I think the cosplayers, sure, maybe it's just dress up for some, but I think too that some it's way deeper, it's like a connection.
Yeah.
This person makes me feel like this, and when I dress up like them, I feel invincible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dressing up as Spider-Man.
But also, like, even if you were to just look at it from a standpoint, because I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that are like look down at that kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I'm
what
sure.
if you just looked at it from a point of view of it's actually harmless fun,
Yeah.
dressing up like your hero or whatever the case, and why it also promotes maybe creativity and imagination,
Yeah, of course.
right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, a lot of these serious cosplayers, I've seen actually videos that they make their own costumes. They are like, they work like for weeks, sometimes months on like a costume
Oh yeah.
to be able to
Some
like,
of them are out of this world.
unbelievable. So I have to say it's almost in a way like a business.
Oh
Look
yeah.
at me.
No,
Business minded.
it's definitely a business though.
Yeah, it has to
There's
be.
no question about it. I mean, you can get all sorts of, you know, made costumes or a gun or a sword that's a certain way, and you know, you
The
modify it.
details,
Yeah,
the everything.
yeah.
Crazy.
It's like real life models
Yeah.
in the sense of like a model, you know, that you build
Yes.
together. It's a real life model.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
Mm.
Okay. So, weekly what if?
Weekly what if?
What if a fandom formed around you?
Hmm.
So there's a fan art of you, fan fiction, you know, someone shipping you with your barista. Another person has a theory that your most recent Instagram story proves you're in a redemption arc. That's hilarious, actually. So, how would you handle that kind of attention?
Like in the sense of like I'm a celebrity, basically.
Yeah, like you have fans, like legit fans. How would you handle that? And on a more fun spin, what would your fandom be called?
I have no idea. I have no idea what they would be called. I'm not that artistic. But I can tell you this. I think I would be if I had these fans and they were like, "Oh my gosh, we love you," and so movies or whatever. I think I would be that guy, you know, that makes sure I stop to every. I know it'll be, you know, a lot, but stops and takes the time to, you know, have every, because some people, you know, they're so you know, infatuated with that, and it's like all it takes is just, you know, 1 second for that celebrity to be like, hi, you know, or whatever, and it's like, oh, you know, it makes their day.
Yeah.
And you know, you see it all the time, you know. I get it, they get picked and prodded nonstop, you know, so I can't relate. But you know, I feel like, you know, there are some celebrities out there that are a little bit more like conscious of that, and so they kind of give.
Yeah.
You know, like The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. I mean, you know, they're doing tourist bus, and he'll come with his car and park in front of the tourists and wave and sign a, you know,
Yeah.
like there's just something about that.
See, I think it has my perception of it is that it's the level of gratitude.
Yeah.
When like taking Dwayne Johnson as an example, it's well known. He started from nothing,
Yeah.
right? And even going into wrestling.
Yeah.
He like the fans are what build you up, right?
Yeah.
So in essence, the idea that you are nothing without your fans is true.
Yeah. It is.
So he started, like, I think he started in wrestling. I don't think he was doing anything before that. Once he was in wrestling and kind of built up then he went into movies and stuff like that, right?
He was in pro football until he
until he got injured or something.
Well, and he got cut.
Oh, okay.
He got cut, and then you know, life was over.
Right? Or like,
look
at, speaking of wrestling, look at John Cena. Same thing.
Yeah.
Right? The fans are what, and his philosophy is also the same thing, right? You always see him signing for fans and taking pictures and stuff like that. Flip side, you have some actors, maybe musicians, too, that are the opposite. It's like, I'm not on the clock, so to speak, right now.
Right.
How dare you come to my table where I'm eating with my kids? And now, I get it.
Yeah.
Because there are many fans and many people out there that take it way too far sometimes.
For sure.
I get it. I personally, like, I've seen somebody, like a famous person, having dinner with friends, and I'm just like so starstruck that I'm just like, oh my god, like, you know, like from the side, and I never approached him. A, because I'm just too like, my god, but also because I'm aware that he's there with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's such a double-edged sword. I can see both sides. I can see both sides from their angle, and I can also see both sides from the fans' angle.
It's true. You're
You
right.
know, so I don't know. But it's interesting. It's just interesting, that whole like world. You know.
Yeah. So I think that's how I would technically handle the attention,
Okay.
in that regard. Would would they get it right or completely miss who you are?
I think look at Taylor Swift. I think the amount of dissection in her life, the Easter eggs and this and that and the, could they get it wrong? Do they always get it right? Come
Well,
on, there's got to be something that could get wrong. You know
think,
what I mean?
I think there's a lot more wrong than right.
Well, that's what I'm
in
saying.
a lot of the
right?
celebrity world.
Exactly.
Exactly. I mean,
So,
look at like TMZ and
oh
like
my god, and like, what are they saying? Like, is anything said that's truthful?
yeah.
Or is it all just a money grab to like sell fucking?
Yeah, and some of the celebrities get so ticked off, like with TMZ. Oh my gosh, because those guys
Did you
are.
see the Justin Bieber one recently?
That,
That's sad.
him.
Though. Like,
I really feel bad for him, because he just is getting.
like, I mean, imagine starting out. Like, we know because we've talked about this in the past that your brain really only is fully developed in your fucking 20s, early 20s, right?
Yeah,
This kid started at 12.
I know.
Okay, growing up in this fucking nonsense.
Mm.
And when I think about, I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but I think about sometimes about like, oh, like I'd love to do like a podcast with the kids, or like, or to be like one of those like YouTube families that like goes around recording their days and stuff. Do I let's say you hit that level of where you're getting paid and you're getting millions of views on your thing. Do you really want to be under that kind of a fucking scrutiny every day?
Well, there was actually, I think, something on Netflix with
Yes, kidfluencing.
yeah,
There's been a couple of
and
different.
like the parents almost have to treat their kids like employees at
Yes.
that point.
Yeah,
It's pretty bad.
it's pretty bad.
So,
But you've heard like the Ruby Frankie story, right?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Anyways, I'm going totally off topic, but it just kind of reminds you of like, or makes you think about what you would be willing to go through for that level of fame and money, and is it even really worth it?
I don't know about that.
I know.
Yeah.
Part of me is like, I think I'll just stay in my nook and have my coffee and do my little art with my kids. Okay, so there's different kinds of fandoms, right? There's TV, there's movies, music, gaming,
Yeah.
right? I will be very honest and say I know very little about all of them, especially gaming. But let's start with TV.
Okay.
Are there any TV like shows that really spark like longevity? First thing that comes to my mind is Gilmore Girls,
Oh my gosh.
right? The fans for Gilmore Girls. That show was like 20 years ago
Yeah.
and it's coming back. Friends,
Yeah.
Seinfeld,
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, So there's tons that have fandom, old and new.
Yeah. Dead Boy Detectives. I
Never
loved
heard of that one.
Oh my gosh, you
Is
should
that
watch.
new?
No, not exactly new, but Dead Boy Detectives. It's a comic,
Okay.
but they made a real movie out of it, a real TV show out of it. But if I'm not mistaken, I have to double check. I hope they're renewing. I don't know if they're renewing for second season. That's sad,
I hate that.
Some of these ones. Did you watch, like for example, Chaos? KAOS?
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh, it was the best. They canceled it after the first season. I really don't know why. The actors, super hotshot celebrity actors, and it was so good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was the best. I loved it. It was the most hilarious religion-based TV show ever. I'm telling you.
So here's a question to you. TV shows. Are there any series that you've watched several times over the years?
Yes.
Name one.
I can't.
Okay,
I have such a bad memory.
take a look. Stranger Things, Supernatural.
So it was The Walking Dead for sure.
I've watched
Oh,
that
The
2 or
Boys.
3 times.
The Boys.
You know what? I haven't even finished the 3rd season.
I haven't either,
I need to
but
finish that.
I was into that. Oh, Breaking Bad.
But that you've rewatched. For me, it was Supernatural.
The one I rewatched, at least on this list, was Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah. For me, it was Supernatural. Oh, we're rewatching Buffy.
No way.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel in sequence, like we're going back and forth.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because we wanted Riley to experience it.
That's awesome.
And Grayson's got into it now, so
Nice.
it's pretty good. Yeah. So love those ones. Clearly, I have a niche. It's like dark, creepy.
It's great.
Whatever. Yeah. What about movies? Any movies that stick out to you?
Star
Fandoms?
Wars.
Okay, so what do you think about the fandom for Star Wars?
Well, I mean, they're hardcore.
What's one of the things that they like? What's their shtick?
Well, just definitely probably the cosplay and stuff.
Okay.
Like when they go to these events, like
Yeah.
some of them are like decked out, like they look like a real stormtrooper.
Really?
Oh yeah. Like
Oh,
real
shit.
stormtrooper, like they go all out. Some like they have Darth Vader, like the voice even sounds like Darth Vader. They have like the lightsaber looks real. Oh yeah, they go.
So do they? So they must be like really super in depth with every single movie. Like maybe inconsistencies they'll point out, stuff like that.
I'm sure they huddle at these events and they have group talks and they're arguing about what chip is in the lightsaber of
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Shit.
For
For
sure.
us in our house, it's Marvel. Marvel's a big one. The comic books. James is huge on that. I'm just along for the ride. I enjoy a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
But to ask me like what the comics did and the differences in costumes and stuff like that, I'm like
Not so much.
right over there. But James is into that, and obviously by default Riley is into that, and Grayson is getting into it. So that's a big thing for us, Marvel.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm really into Daredevil. Have you?
I didn't watch Daredevil. I always loved the Supermans. And I'd say that I was definitely a huge fan of oh my gosh, a huge fan. I can't even remember their names.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
Thank you.
love those guys. Love those guys.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, those are fun. Those are good ones.
Yeah.
Okay, so music. We've kind of touched on that a little bit with the Swifties.
Me, I'm
What
very
yeah.
deep into like the indie rap.
Okay, indie rap.
Yeah.
Oh, geez,
like,
I was gonna say indie music or indie folk.
no,
but, okay.
like indie rap, like just like the underground hip hop kind
Okay.
of. The reason why is because they speak to me, because a lot of these Indian underground rappers, you can actually understand them. It's
Yeah.
not like blah, 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 like you
Yes.
can actually understand what they're saying. But there's also like that hero story. It's always
Okay.
like, I came from nothing and now I'm here.
Yeah.
It's all. And so to not have even though I'm a huge Eminem fan, but to not have like, it's Eminem, right? Like these guys that like, like they some of them, they just want the views on their YouTube,
Yeah.
like there's a 7 Years remix that I love, and again, it's an indie rapper, and but he's got like 27 million views on his YouTube
Holy,
video.
good for him.
But you know what I mean? So it's like things like that, that's
Yeah.
like awesome, like, and he raps all about how all his teachers, for example, said that like he would amount to nothing. So like I like hearing those stories, and a lot of the indie rappers and the underground, it's that they're
Like the underdog.
yeah, and
Yeah.
they're focused on talking about that. So that's what's cool about it.
Yeah.
Versus the dilemma now, like even Kendrick Lamar, it's like you're listening to nothing, in my opinion. You just it's good, but it's like the story is not a story. And like some of the rappers,
It's like more like diss tracks.
yeah, and some of the rappers, it's like like what are you saying? Like, and you're just like, okay, like no, I can't. What that comedian talked about it, and it was hilarious when he did it. He was like mumbling, and then says the last word, and then they played the song, and everyone was laughing because it was literally like that, mumble, mumble, mumble. You hear what the last word is. He's like, I hate that, and it's true. Like, I can't stand that. It's not like Tupac. Even
No.
like Tupac, for example, even Notorious B.I.G., you understood everything that was said, So even though I'm talking about underground, like these are good representations of like up there, but like it's
the sound and the
yeah.
Yes, that you
Name
enjoy.
me a song where you don't hear the lyrics of Tupac. You hear every lyric, you hear every story, that he says.
Yeah.
Right? There isn't one where you're like, what the fuck did he say? That was so fast. Or, like Busta Rhymes. Like, Busta Rhymes is great, but calm down. Like, it's too fast.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, my tangent.
Your little fandom going out there.
See, yeah, I guess I have, I guess I have a little fandom there, music-wise.
It's true.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. All right.
This or that.
This or that, my friends. Why don't you start?
All right. So, let's go TV shows. No, how about music? Music, right? You want music or shows? Which one do you want?
You know what? Give me shows.
Okay. Stranger Things or The Last of Us? I've never seen The Last of Us.
I saw season 1. Season 2 just came out,
Is
and
it good?
I told James. James was like, "Are we gonna watch the first episode?" And I was just like, "I'm not invested."
In what, The Last of Us?
Yeah, I'm not.
But
invested.
was it good the first season?
It was. It was
that's
fine.
That's that video game, right?
It's just that it's yet another fucking zombie. Everybody's gonna hurt me for this in my house. Nobody's gonna be happy with me with this comment. But it's yet another zombie thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yet another end of the world. Like, anyway.
But it's representative to that game.
Yes, it's obviously about the game.
Yeah.
Obviously, yes.
Okay.
It is very representative.
Okay, because I never played the game, but I remember the game looking really good, and so I'm wondering what but like like The Walking Dead, for example.
I know that's also another end of the world thing. I don't know why.
Yeah, I used to love it, but actually, what ended up happening with me is like I think when we got to like season 5 or something.
Oh my God, you're gonna read my mind right now with the comment that you're gonna make. Say it.
Glenn died, and after Glenn, I didn't want to watch it anymore. But that's not the real reason. What I noticed after like season 5 was like, my God, the same thing keeps happening. It's like they go into a place that there's some freaking cannibals or there's whatever, and they fight that, and then they escape.
And then they move on to the next
one person
thing.
dies,
Yeah.
and
or 5,
and then
Yes.
it repeats.
Yes.
And I just got to the point where I was like, okay,
Yeah, time
and then
to move
Glenn
on.
died. I was like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah. No, exactly. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Same thing. Same thought process with me too. It's just like I get it. Like, it's a great show. People are watching it, and so you have to have the content, right? Like.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, it's like, okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want movie or gaming?
Gaming.
Okay. Minecraft or Roblox?
I probably have to go Roblox. I hate Minecraft.
So you didn't see the movie then?
No. No. But I would. That I would go see.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know Jason Momoa was in it. I just went because the kids wanted to go. Yes,
Oh.
he's in it. It's freaking hilarious, Josh.
I would go see it
died.
because I'm fine with a movie of Minecraft. I just don't like the game of Minecraft.
I don't understand it.
Well, it's like you're building. It's like
I get it,
a world, but
I don't get it.
it's not the same thing as Roblox. Because Roblox, I can go into different games. I can go
Yes.
into a shooting game. I can go into this
Yes.
game. Like so, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, TV show still. How about? I already know the answer on this one. Supernatural, this or that, which is Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
So I have to choose between Supernatural or Buffy?
Yeah. Really?
Supernatural.
What? I would have thought it was Buffy. You were the biggest Buffy fan.
Yeah.
Supernatural.
I don't know.
What the hell is Supernatural?
Fuck.
Is that with the two guys?
Yes.
Really? That
Dean
show.
and Sam.
That show was that good?
It was. Yeah, it was really I really fucking liked it.
Wow, I'm impressed. The fact that you turned away Buffy.
I know.
Buffy, if you're listening.
No, but it was really that one's really hard.
Mm.
Okay. Still gaming. League of Legends or Overwatch?
Oh, League of Legends.
Okay.
League of Legends will win every competition.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't even know what they are.
I invested too much of time into that game to pick something else.
Oh, shit.
So there's not another game you can mention. League of Legends would win every time.
Okay.
All right, how about music here? How
Sure.
about we go One Direction or 5 Seconds of Summer?
I don't know either one of them.
You don't know One Direction?
Okay, well, I know One Direction. So, I guess by default, because I don't know the other one, I'll have to go with One Direction.
Okay, fine. How about Swifties or Army?
Is that Beyonce?
BTS?
Oh, BTS. Oh, okay, Swifties.
Okay, how about Olivia Rodrigo
Okay.
or Billie Eilish?
Billie Eilish. Hands down, Billie Eilish.
Harry Styles solo or Zayn solo?
Kind of like Zayn.
Okay,
Solo. I kind of
fair.
like Zayn solo, yeah. Okay, let's do some movies for you. Okay, Marvel, Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Okay. Lord of the
It's harder actually, but yeah, no, I guess Star Wars, yeah.
Spider-Verse, The Batman.
Ooh. Spider-Verse. Yeah, Spider-Verse.
Okay. Disney animated movies or Pixar originals?
Fuck, I don't even know the difference.
Come on. Pixar's, the Toy Stories, the...
I loved the Toy Stories. You want to talk about a movie I watched 500 times?
Well, there you go.
Toy Story.
Okay, and then Disney animated classics are like the old ones, Pinocchio. Okay, so Pixar.
Yeah.
There you
Pixar,
go.
For sure.
There you go. Josh, I'm going to skip back to gaming for the last one for you.
Okay.
You ready? Zelda or Final Fantasy?
Final Fantasy. A lot of people are going to hate on me on that one, but I've always been a big Cloud fan. If I were into cosplay,
Yeah.
I would dress up as Cloud.
Okay.
Yeah, if I were into that.
Yeah. If you were
I would have the big massive sword, the spiky blonde hair, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Or, of course, Goku. I would be Goku
Ah.
from Dragon Ball Z. Yeah. Okay, here, I'll give you one more.
Oh, okay.
Glee or Teen Wolf for TV shows?
I didn't like either one of them.
Oh, really?
I don't like musicals, and Teen Wolf was just not my vibe.
Okay, fair. Okay, wait. I got one that I think you were into. Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon?
Oh, shit. But you know what? If I had to choose between the two, I would say House of Dragons.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. They're both really good, but House of Dragons, I think, will notch it up a little. Yeah. Okay, well, that was fun. That was very
good.
interesting.
So, give me a regret of the week.
Okay, well, for the sake of this topic. It's not going to be like a regret for this week, but it'll be a regret regarding this topic. Are we okay with that?
Sure.
Okay. So regret would be that I didn't spend the money and go to the Eras tour when she came to Toronto. I was right there. Could have just clicked, and then I was like, I got sticker shock, and I was like, oh my God, and I didn't go. So yeah, I think it would have been a really, really like fun experience. So I kind of regret that.
But I'm sure you'll maybe have another opportunity or something.
For
right?
that?
I don't know.
No, I don't know. I don't know if she's ever going to do something like that again. Who
Maybe
knows?
you might travel somewhere to see.
Maybe.
If it's somewhere else or
Yeah,
something.
maybe.
I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe.
So at its core, fandom is just a way of saying this thing mattered to me, and I wanted someone else to feel it too.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it, actually. Yeah. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode and getting to know us a little bit better, things that we like and don't like.
Yeah.
So thanks again for joining us on Brother, Sister, Whatever. We'll see you again next week.